Hey guys, how you doing? This is Travis. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. Well, if you've been watching the channel for the last couple days, you know that we did a review of this, the Logitech Slim Combo keyboard case for the iPad Pro. And while this is an absolutely awesome case, it's also awesomely expensive. So for some people, it might not fit in their budget. And I was looking around online and I think I found something that might just work for those people on a budget or somebody that just wants a simple case with a cover to just protect their iPad Pro. So hang tight guys, we're gonna check this one out. Here we go. Alright, so the official manufacturer of this product is Durasafe cases, and this thing is called, okay, wait for it, the iPad Pro 10.5-inch case, soft silicone, black colored, trifold ultra slim smart cover with auto sleep and wake, as well as a multi-angled stand. And this will fit the iPad Pro 2017 models A1701 and A1709. Now I ordered this one in black, and then, like I said, it was $14.99. And so if you want other colors, there's a possibility that you have to pay an extra buck or two when you go that route. So let's just talk about the design, the features, and what you can expect for 15 bucks. Okay, so I've only been using the iPad Pro for about a week now. This was actually given to me by my employer, and I traded in my old iPad 3. And one of the things that kind of bugged me about the iPad Pro, aside from the fact it's just awesome, is the fact that it's just such a thin unit. It just feels delicate in my hands. I felt like maybe I was going to break it if I wasn't really careful with it. I wasn't used to the profile on it, so adding a case to it does give it a little bit better grip, a little bit easier grip. A little bit about the material itself. It is listed as being silicone and some sort of a polyurethane. The outside of it has a nice finish to it. The edges fit perfect around it. It does have a nice hinge. The outside of it, okay, you do have some cutouts for all of your ports. All of your accessibility is right there for you. We've got a holes cut out for your speakers, for your microphone, I'm assuming, for your rear camera. And also on the bottom, we've also got two more cutouts for your speakers on the bottom as well as your charging port. The one thing that kind of turned me off to this case, although it does work really well just off the start, the buttons are a little hard to press in. You do have to give them a little bit of force. Now, it's really not that big of a deal in terms of just the power button if you just want to turn the unit on or off. As I said before, it is the auto sleep and wake case. So as you put the cover on, it does actually turn itself off. Okay, I don't know if you can tell that or not. And then when you take it up, when you go ahead and open it up, okay, and it does come back on. So it does actually function the way that it's supposed to, and it does have the magnet in there that causes that to happen if that is in fact the mechanism. You do not have access to your dock or your port for the keyboard itself, so it's one of those things where you'll have to take it out. You really got to think to yourself, what kind of use are you expecting, or where are you going to be using this type of a case? It is very thin. The cut is perfectly cut. It does fit really well. It is easy to put on and take off, but it does stay on. Even though it is kind of a soft rubbery material, it's got a nice rigid side to it all the way around the frame. It does keep the iPad locked into place. It doesn't flop out or anything like that, like you sometimes see on some of those lesser expensive cases that are out there. The only real weak spot to this might be the hinge itself. You know, I like the design of it. The material seems sturdy, but it is a little bit flimsy, so you do want to be kind of careful with it. You don't want to put a lot of twisting force on the cover itself, or you do run the possibility of tearing it. But I mean, it is a fairly thick vinyl. I think it's going to hold up well, or silicone or polyurethane, whatever it is. But either way, it is a really good case. And I've purchased cases before that don't fit well, that look like they're going to break, and so on. You don't really have any padding on the corners necessarily. It's just a kind of a soft touch plastic. And on the inside, like I said, you do have that rubberized coating that's going to protect the frame of the iPad Pro, which is going to give you a little bit of protection if you use it. And again, what I like about it is the fact you put the cover on, throw it in your bag, and go. Not necessarily have to worry so much about damage to the screen. You do have these nice little plates that are in here of probably some sort of cardboard or plastic that gives it a little bit of rigidity and a little more protection. You also do have your cutout for the always important headphone jack, which I really like too. Okay, so on the inside of the unit, we have kind of a micro suede finish on the inside. It's really nice and soft, and it's not going to scratch up your screen. That's something that you don't want to have to worry about. I usually don't put screen covers on my iPads. I do on my phones, but not on my iPads. For the most part, I just don't really worry about it. But again, this cover does give you some peace of mind that if you toss it in a bag, you're going to have some protection on the outside, and I do like that. I think what we'll do now is just go ahead and check out the folding options, for some different viewing angles if it works out. Sometimes that can be a challenge. It looks a lot easier when you look these things up online and you see them sitting there in the trifold position than it actually is to put it in those positions. So let's attempt to put it in one or two of those foldable positions to see if we can get some sort of a usable angle or reading angle with it. Now, a really nice budget alternative to that expensive case I showed you in the intro of the video would be to go with a case like this and then get yourself an inexpensive Bluetooth keyboard for 15 or 20 bucks, maybe 10 bucks. Pair that up with this unit. Now, granted, they're not going to be attached to each other, but on a budget, it's a great way to really get out there and use your iPad Pro. Or maybe if you're issued one of these iPads through work, or perhaps you're a teacher and they're not going to buy you the peripherals or accessories, and it's up to you to do so, this is a great way to go ahead and get yourself set up without breaking the bank. All right, so let's check out those other sitting positions and see how they look. Okay, so one thing that I was pleasantly surprised to see was how easy it was to fold this into the stand and how well the stand actually works. What's cool about it is that it, any pressure, it does not fall back. I've had cases before where if you put any kind of pressure on the top, it would just flop back and it's basically pointless. This, combined with the Bluetooth keyboard, would give you a nice option to get into using your iPad, say as a substitute for a laptop or as a second device, and I do like that. That is very cool. Let's see if we have any other mounting positions for it. Maybe we can go into a more low position without having it flip over. And if you prefer more of a steep angle for reading or for working or web browsing, you can simply fold the cover over as such and you are good to go. Now, this is not quite as sturdy as what I just showed you before, but it is functional. You can touch the screen and not have any problems with it, which is nice. Okay, I don't have this set to auto rotate. Here we go. Let's go and take that out. There we go. All right, so again, you've got plenty of options out there for you if you go ahead and decide to go along with a case like this. And again, I know it's only 15 bucks, but sometimes, you read reviews and people say something is just awesome and then you go ahead and get it, and it turns out that it's just not quite the way that you thought it was going to be. Well, this is one of those cases that I think is not going to let you down. I think you'll be happy with it. So again, this is called the Durasafe case, and this is for the iPad Pro, and I did pay for this out of my own pocket. This wasn't provided to me from the company. Okay, this wasn't given to me as some sort of a favorable review. It's just that I've been using portable devices, electronic devices for basically decades now, and I've bought in so many cases for things I pretty much lost track. And sometimes these more generic brands, something that's not Logitech or not a Life Case or not an OtterBox, can actually perform really well for you. So there you have it. Okay, guys, so thanks for joining me today. If you like what you see, please like or subscribe, and we'll go ahead and keep bringing you more footage and more cool computer reviews and Chromebook reviews and so on. I got a lot of videos lined up for the channel. And guys, there you have it. Thank you for joining me today. I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye.